Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Friday, April 30th. We're going to be talking about some NBA DFS picks on both DraftKings and FanDuel. But before we get started, I'm going to take a quick look back at yesterday's picks and see how they turned out. So on the DraftKings side, started off with the point guard position, picked Ty Jerome. He was $3,500, looking for 17-18 points out of him, got to 14.5, so he was a miss. Josh Jackson, $5,800, looking for 29 points out of him. He had typically played pretty well when all these other guys were off the court, ended up with 22 points, so he was a miss. He only ended up playing 20 minutes in this game, only taking 5 shots, so that really hurt him overall. Then we had Kent Bazemore at small forward, $3,900, looking for about 19-20 points out of him, got to 34.5, so he was a hit. Kevin Durant at power forward, $8,500, looking for 42-43 points out of him, got to 62.25, so he was a big hit as well. Then at the center position, Isaiah Stewart, $6,000, looking for 30 points out of him, got to 43 points, so he was a hit as well. So overall on the DraftKings side, kind of a little bit of hit or miss. Obviously, Ty Jerome and Josh Jackson could have been a little bit better, but the other three were pretty good hits. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Killian Hayes, $3,900, looking for 19-20 points out of him, got to 22.7, so he was a hit. Josh Jackson, like I said on the DraftKings side, he was a miss. He was $5,600, looking for 28 points out of him, got to 19.4. Like I said on the DraftKings side, only played 20 minutes yesterday, so that really hurt him overall. Kevin Porter Jr., $5,600, looking for 28 points out of him, got to about 70.5 points, so he was a massive hit yesterday. A 50-point game in real life, I do believe it was, so that really helped him out quite a bit. Isaiah Stewart, $5,900, looking for 30 points out of him, got to 44, so he was a pretty good hit as well. Then last but not least, we had Karl Anthony Towns at that center position, $9,700, looking for about 49 points out of him, got to 43.7. He was a miss, but hopefully one that didn't hurt you too bad overall. So a little bit of a hit or miss on both sides, but there was some pretty good picks in there as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to today's slate and talk about the injuries in play. So we'll start off with the Hawks and the 76ers. So the Hawks have Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, and Kevin Huerter all out. Trae Young, Clint Capella, Bogdan Bogdanovic are all game time decisions. We'll see if they end up playing or not. Tony Snell is also a game time decision. Looks like he should be back today. Philadelphia 76ers appear to be all the way healthy, and we'll see if anything changes with that before the start of the game, because 76ers are always one of those teams that just seems like something's always happening injury-wise. For the San Antonio Spurs, they're missing Trey Lyles. He's out for this game once again. Derek White is pretty much shut down for the whole season, so we won't be seeing him once again. Then for Boston Celtics, Kemba Walker, game time decision, looking like he's not going to play once again today. Washington Wizards appear to be all the way healthy. Cleveland Cavaliers have Lamar Stevens, Hartenstein, Del Vadova all out, and then Colin Sexton, game time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing today or not. Then we move down to the Trailblazers, and they're pretty much all the way healthy. Just Zach Collins out, who's been out all year. Then for the Brooklyn Nets, we got Harden, Chibuza both out. Claxton unlikely to play. And then we have Kyrie Irving and Bruce Brown, both game time decisions. We'll just have to see if they end up playing or not. For the Orlando Magic, we got Otto Porter Jr., Michael Carter-Williams out once again. Chuma Okeke is joining them on the out list today. He got hurt in the last game out. And then Terrence Ross, game time decision, looking like he's not going to play. Then on the opposite side of that game, we had the Memphis Grizzlies. Jackson's out, and then Grayson Allen's unlikely to play as well. So we'll just have to keep an eye out on seeing who's starting in this game, whether that's Melton or Grayson Allen. Then we move down to the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is game time decision. He did leave the game last time pretty early in the game, so we'll see if he ends up playing today or not. Bulls team's not too good overall, so maybe they do rest him today, and that would make Bobby Portis a pretty attractive play. Then for the Chicago Bulls, we got Zach LaVine, Troy Brown Jr. out once again. Nikolai Vucevic is a game-time decision, but looks like he has a good chance of playing. Then for the Utah Jazz, same three guys out as the last time. Royce O'Neal is a game-time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing or not today. Then we move over to the Suns. Nader's out once again. Jay Crowder's a game-time decision, and Sarge is a game-time decision as well. We'll just have to keep an eye out on those two. Then for the Kings, we got Woodard, Fox, and Barnes already ruled out. Marvin Bagley listed as a game-time decision. He's in the green, but until he's actually ruled in, I don't want to call that one. Then we move over to the Lakers. LeBron James, Jared Dudley out once again. Caruso, game-time decision. Then we got the four guys in the green for game-time decision. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Anthony Davis, Marc Gasol, and Dennis Schroeder. So we'll just have to keep an eye out on all those game-time decisions for the Lakers once again. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for today's slate. I do believe this is an 8-game slate, so kind of in the middle. Should be a pretty good one to play. We'll have to see what news and value comes out later on in the day. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So at the point guard position, went with Lonnie Walker, $3,700, looking for 18, 19 points out of him, averaging just over 18 on the season. No Derek White once again today, so he should see pretty good minutes. Last time he was not in the starting lineup. We'll see if he's in there today or not, but definitely an interesting play on today's slate. Then shooting guard Landry Shamet, $3,900, looking for 19, 20 points out of him. Been playing pretty good minutes lately, been playing fairly well. Seems like a pretty good price down spot for him as well. Then at small forward, we're going to go with James Ennis, probably starting at power forward today in place of Chuma Okeke. If he's not, this pick's probably going to change. But $4,500, looking for 22, 23 points out of him. If he's getting the minutes, if he's getting some shots, he's definitely going to pay off for that price tag today. Then at power forward, I almost went with Kevin Durant once again because he's still super cheap, but Keldon Johnson was the play here. $5,000, looking for 25 points out of him, and averaging just over that on the season. His minutes have been up, playing slightly better once again, so definitely can't go wrong with him here today. Then last but not least, at the center position, we got Jarrett Allen, $7,400, looking for 37 points out of him. Going against the Washington Wizards, very good matchup for him, averaging 32 points on the season. Coming off a monster game, I think it's definitely one that he can repeat tonight, especially against that poor Wizards front court. But if you go with these 5 players on DraftKings for today, you'll have $25,500 left over, $8,500 per player. So definitely a lot of different ways to mix and match with that remaining budget, whether you want to pay up for some guys, go to a more balanced route, or just kind of pick and choose, see what works for you guys. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So at the point guard position, we got Cole Anthony, $6,100. Looking for about 30, 31 points out of him, averaging 25 on the season. He should get a little bit more usage with Chuma Okeke out, hopefully get a couple more shots, so that definitely should help him out as well. Minutes seem pretty safe for him overall. Shooting guard Lonnie Walker, minimum price, $3,500, looking for 17, 18 points about out of him, averaging about 17.5 on the season. Most of the same things we said on the DraftKings side still applies. Getting more minutes, should get a little bit more usage as well. Then we're going right back to Rui Hachimura again today, $4,100. Just seems like too good of a price. Looking for 20, 21 points out of him, averaging almost 24 on the season. Pretty good matchup once again against the Cavaliers, so I think it's definitely a good game for him to bounce back once again. Then at power forward, I went with Tobias Harris, $6,900. 34, 35 points is what you're looking for out of him. Averaging 37.5 on the season. Seems like a very good price down spot for him. And going against the Hawks, not the best defensive team in the world either, so should be a decent game for him once again. Then at center, we're going right back to Jarrett Allen on here as well. $6,800, looking for 34 points out of him. Like I already said, pace up matchup against the Wizards. Poor Wizards front court should be a game that he definitely has a lot of success in. But if you go with these 5 players on FanDuel, you have $32,600 left over. $8,150 per player remaining, so definitely a little bit of room, flexibility to mix and match, pay up for some guys, find some values, stick in there as well. But with that being said, these are my picks for today, April 30th, for both DraftKings and FanDuel. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the news, injuries, and starting lineup. So definitely be sure to check out the comments throughout the day. You'll have all that stuff down in there. And then with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It really helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. And that's truly one for you, the viewers. Helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL. Helping you guys with your fantasy football teams. Talking all the different football news this offseason, especially regarding the NFL draft. We obviously had round 1 last night. Round 2 and 3 are tonight. So if you guys are into that, definitely be sure to check that out. I'll have content out for that as well. I'll be on the True North Fantasy Football live stream tonight for day 2, for most of the stream tonight at least. So definitely be sure to check those guys out. The link is down in the description below. But with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I put up a new video. And like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos like this, as well as some fantasy football content, NFL draft content as well, if you guys are into that type of stuff. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully you all do very well in NBA DFS tonight. And as always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.